interaction with Sky before the actual spell went off.
I believe,
30 minutes.
I believe, if I understand correctly, there was going to be quite a bit of interaction before the spell went off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interaction.
Like, well, I'll just allow it's actually in your court, not mine. You guys tell me what kind of interaction there would be. So yeah, yes. By all means, we're more than willing to. Technically, the ritual has not gone off yet. We can retroactive whatever happened before the fight. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. As long as I should probably point out, as long as such retroactiveness does not change what happened in the fight. Like if someone kills Sky before the fight, well, she didn't really do much, so that's fine. That's fine. If someone kills Sky before the fight.
Okay, confirmed.
Can
Confirm
do.
for Sky.
Confirmed. Sky's dead.
Confirm for Jay. All right.
You.
Okay, so we are streaming. Does anyone have any questions of me before we begin?
Why?
No.
Why was your question? Just why?
And I give an answer.
Okay.
All right. All right then. So, when last we left the session, you guys had just finished fighting surviving your first encounter with a wisp and some old demony friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Jarek's ritual was about to come to fruition. However, we are going to back up a little bit because I believe there is some character interaction that some people wanted to do. So I'm going to kind of throw it over into your court.
Oh boy. Okay, give me a time scale. Is this before or after the fight?
It can be either,
Yeah.
because the fight took place perhaps 75 minutes into the ritual. You still have bags of time. This is a 2-hour process.
Yes. So it can be your choice.
Okay. Got it. So yes.
Go ahead. No, nothing. I'm just like, I'm not a part of this. I have no interaction, so don't look to me.
All right. After the fight, Cole will generally start sweeping the beings, the bits and pieces of the body into this room, to gather and make sure that's not in the middle of the hallway. That's generally what he's doing at that time, and he's most likely going to ask others if they're willing to help.
You're cleaning up the grave.
You'd be suspicious if fresh bodies were in the hallway.
Ah, yeah, sure. I'll help.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess.
Although, what attracted him in the first place was the light, and Jarek needs that for his ritual. So, we might... There might be looking for these guys, and we might have to come across another fight. Regardless, because they saw the light once, and they'll see it again.
Too true. How's everyone acting at this point?
Like, demeanor-wise,
Yes.
Baby Junior's still really creepy looking.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of panting. She's probably sniffing at the bodies, like, curious. Finn looks very distant, very quiet, not saying anything.
Pearson is kind of tending his wounds from the battle on himself, and he has a determined frown on his face, broken up by intermittent coughing.
Keen seems to be lost in thinking about other things. He seems to have a lot on his mind.
Eric, more so than Keen, does actually have a lot on his mind. There's a ritual being done.
Mm-hmm.
And Sky is actually hovering near Pearson, looking at him worriedly, but not actually addressing him or anything like that.
Gotcha.
And the dead bodies are being dead in a pile over there.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gross.
Gross. Dead. So, let me get this straight. Who here doesn't know magic?
Pearson looks up towards you with are you fucking serious? Look.
Finn gives a slightly similar look and stares for a moment at Cole. What?
From what I've seen in the battle, there was a lot of different fighting styles that, excuse me, Colmore and Keen both
Oh.
distribute.
Yeah, you like that, huh? That was a few things I picked up from the Order of the Phoenix. Never actually tried it out other than in sparring matches. Now, I guess. I know everything happened so fast. It was electrifying, that's for sure.
The best I can do. I'm not a full-fledged magician yet. I don't know a lot of spells or magic, but I can imbue my weapons with lightning.
Pearson gives a smirk and he says, the monks made it really clear what I'm doing ain't magic either. It's focus, willpower. They say I have a ton of it in spades.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, well, you met one of them. He was the guy I kind of had a one-on-one with in the arena. Made an example of him. You know.
Ah, yes. Hard to forget, really.
Yeah. That was the whole point, Pearson says, and he gives a gritting smile.
So, a group of monks. I didn't peg you for meditation.
That's because I don't. Like I said, they taught me some of the fighting styles, and they got to know me and my personality. And, you know, I don't know. What can I say? I learned a few things. I don't meditate, though. At least not traditionally. You're not going to see me with my legs crossed, me chanting up to the heavens or any of that bullshit. I keep to myself in my own mind.
Cole looks over to Finn. Have you found some inner strength?
She looks over to Cole, kind of raising an eyebrow. Inner strength? She kind of smirks at that. I have no idea what that even means or entails. So no, I don't think so.
Shame. I've really looking forward to what you were capable of. And what it would manifest as.
She kind of brings her eyesight down at the dead body pile and doesn't say anything.
Pearson kicks at. Does the wisp leave any sort of corporeal body?
Yes, a few bones, like skeletal bones, like a bit of a skull and a couple other things.
Pearson kicks at the skull a little bit of this wisp thing, and he says, next time we run across one of these things alive, we might want to use one of our daggers on it. It seemed to be calling the shots, and what Sky says, these things seem to have some sort of authority.
Pearson, can you help me move this? And he's going to grip the top of a stone casket.
Sure.
And sort of backs up, and Baby Junior is hopping from casket to casket.
Oh, BJ.
Barf!
Barf.
Barf!
Barf.
Sky's going to
there
inch
you
over
are.
closer to Finn and quietly say, Finn, you already do have magic as an elf. You can teleport, can't you?
Yeah, it's just common sense. She kind of she
Yeah,
looks at
stupid.
Sky like, I've done that since day one.
Like-
Sky shrugs. It is magic.
Sure. Baby Junior tries to hop on the dead pile, but stumbles and falls to the other side.
Oh my god. That's so crazy.
Okay.
Alright. So yeah, Pearson will help. Well, actually, we should ask the DM if Cole and Pearson can move the slab of the sarcophagus off to one side.
What are your strengths? Cole, I know your strength. Pearson, do you know what's your strength?
Do I know my strength? I don't even know my own strength. It's 19.
Oh my god. Yes, you have the both of you have very little trouble lifting the sarcophagus lid, even though it is several hundred pounds.
Okay. At the end, after we're done lifting it, though, you can see Pearson is perhaps uncharacteristically out of breath, a little bent over, taking in deep gasps. All right. So what? You gonna put those bodies in here?
I was just thinking of putting the slab on top of them, but putting them in here might be best.
I don't.
Less weight at once.
I don't know if they'll all fit. Does it look like they'll all fit, God?
I'm trying to debate. I'm trying to think of how much of them.
Maybe the bone splitter can get to work here and make them fit.
I can make
Yeah,
them fit,
these monsters are the toad demons are slightly bigger and certainly broader than Pearson, and the vulture's probably around Pearson's size. So no, they are not all going to fit into one sarcophagus.
What if I get creative?
I was gonna say unless you get creative.
You know what? I got nothing else to do to wait till Jarek's ritual is done. So yeah, let's get creative. This'll keep my mind out of my problems, or Pearson's problems, I guess I should say.
Okay. So Pearson gets creative.
Yeah, you know, a cut here, a snap there, a dislocated everything there.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah, in a way. It's not Rice Krispies, though. Far from it. No one wants to eat from this bowl. It's a sarcophagus. It has
So
toads in it.
yes, if you play Tetris with the body parts, you could fit them all in there.
Sweet.
Though it would be rather grisly work. So
Oh,
Yeah, I think
good
Finn will
luck.
kind of just step out of the room for a bit and just keep guard outside.
Pearson has never been afraid of grisly work.
Baby Junior watches intently, enjoying each and every snap.
Oh my god. Baby Junior's gonna turn into a sociopath. Or worse, Pearson.
We got an end boss in the making right here.
I love how you're making her look back and forth. That's adorable.
Yeah.
Alright. I just imagine Baby Junior dancing to the Tetris theme music. Anyway, what happens next?
yes, I'm wondering the same thing.
No.
Were there any other interactions before we resolve the ritual?
I'm good. I'm really eager to find out what this ritual is, only because I love anticipation.
All right.
Cole, Finn, you guys good?
Yeah, for right now, I think we're good.
Hmm.
Well, we're as in Baby Junior and Finn. I'm not speaking for Pith.
Ah. I'm good.
Okay. Then I have an interaction. Sky, can I talk to you for a little bit?
What? Oh, sure.
Here, come here. Sit down, and he'll pat on the sarcophagus lid next to him.
She sits down next to King.
I need to ask you something somewhat personal. Something that I meant to ask before we actually left the Sunset Tower.
Well, of course. What would you like to know?
Well, I've noticed that you've been getting fairly close with Caleb, my friend.
Ah, that.
Yes.
Well, I don't think either of us would exactly deny it. After the years I spent under Seller's control, it was difficult to adjust. And Caleb was surprisingly very kind to me.
He's a good man.
He is. Is this an issue for you?
No, I was just curious. I just wanted to know.
I don't know what we are exactly. I'm not sure I am. I've been through too much to have I guess what you would say a normal relationship. But she shrugs. I don't know. Maybe one day, after all this, she says, pointing to Pearson breaking bones and putting them into her sarcophagus.
Crack, crunch, crack. Okay. All right. I honestly just needed to know, so that I had to keep watch over you, make sure that you got back to him. Okay.
Funny, she says with a grin. That's what he told me about you.
Ah. Huh.
Keen.
Hmm?
I would probably be a derelict of my duties if I didn't ask once in a while, but has the lady sent any word?
I don't know. I didn't write to her, so she shouldn't have. He'll reach into his backpack and pull out the book. He'll open it to the appropriate page where he last wrote, then starts flipping through.
Well, you see two things. On the page right after where you stopped writing or where you got your last response, you see in handwriting that is similar to yours, but not perfect. You see this. Lady Selene, wished you had told us about the abhorrent sea monsters that had been summoned into the river. Really would have made our approach to Falcon Keep easier. As competent a leader as ever. Keen Stormsire. And on the opposite page, you see a response. I have known Keen Stormsire a long time, and even if I were sending him to his death, he would be more respectful to me. Cole probably found the event thrilling. Finn probably couldn't be bothered to write a response, and I'm quite sure that Pearson would rather lose one of his fingers than talk to me. So, Jarek Veermal, allow me to respond. Since your party did not deem to tell me what path you chose to take to arrive at your destination, there was no way I could have known if you would come across any of the dozen or so surprises I have laid for our enemies. I simply had to trust that you would run into our allies and that those under our command would make you aware. You're the leader of a country now, Jarek, if only in name, so allow me to give you an advice as a leader. We can't do everything ourselves. Sometimes we have to have faith in those we command, and since you are well enough to write this, I assume my faith was well placed. And on a side note, Jarek, we leaders also typically don't root through others' belongings and write messages in other people's names. It's not becoming. Signed, Lady Selene.
Okay, Keen is going to mouth out, or he's going to read aloud the entire passage for everybody to hear.
Jarek is in the zone right now. He doesn't notice it.
You see Finn like poke her head in, roll her eyes, and then go back out.
Pearson's gonna say, you know, if it was an emergency, I probably would have written to her.
Then yeah, from after you say that, Pearson, you just hear from out in the hall, "Ha!"
Good old ha.
I
Probably
will.
not the best attempt at doing Keen's handwriting, if only because his handwriting is absolute rubbish, and Jarek just can't write that poorly.
Yeah. Keen's handwriting, seriously, is terrible. Utterly terrible. It's chicken scratch.
Jarek's too used to like the flowing script he learned.
Yeah.
his higher learning. Like he may have took it like one look at the page and basically like, fuck it. She'll know who it is anyway.
Keen is going to write a response, which will say, I apologize for what my comrade has stated. We
I
have gotten-
apologize for my actions, Jarek Veerman.
That doesn't sound like him either. We're all just a bunch of liars.
Actually, yeah, let's fucking do that. Let's do that. I apologize for my actions, Jarek Veermal. And then under that, I will write in chicken scratch that we have gotten into, I think it was Ravenhold, right?
Falcon's Keep.
Falcon's Keep, yeah.
Keep. Something like that. We've gotten into Falcon's Keep. We have encountered minimal resistance. There have been some blunders, but we are going to be encountering Gov fairly soon. We'll keep you updated. And then that will be the end of that.
All right.
Mhm. And I have one small little interaction after that's all done and everything. Keen will close the book, thus sending the message and everything, put it back in his backpack, stare at Jarek for a little bit, and then just say out of the blue, sort of, "Hey, Sky, do you cook?"
Well, Sky blushes a little bit. Carla's taught me a little bit.
Oh?
Well, I wanted to well, she once told me that she got to Pearson by cooking for him, and I asked if she would teach me something to cook Caleb. I wasn't very good at it.
Bursting
You
out
hear
laughing.
another ha come from the hallway at that.
And Pearson's gonna say that's not the only reason why I liked her.
Jarek
There are
will
other reasons.
audibly say, "Could you keep it down, please?"
I'm sorry. Sky, you
Yes.
should have came to me. You really should have. I know exactly what Caleb likes to eat.
She smiles with Keen and says, You're right, Keen. I should have tracked you down through Windfall Isle in your midst of your giant battles to ask you what favorite dish your best friend had.
Actually, that's a fair enough point. But honestly, I wouldn't mind giving you lessons. I mean, I lost my family when I was 8. Ever since then, I've been traveling with Caleb. His father took me in after that whole riot happened back in uh, Redwater. Um, and after we got old enough and we became mercenaries, my main job in the mercenary group was I was the cook. I also, hunted down our meals and helped track down people that we were supposed to find and all of that. But honestly, if you want to learn how to cook, then I'm more than happy to help.
As you talk, Sky begins rummaging through her pack, and as you continue to talk, she pulls out something wrapped in a handkerchief and begins to unwrap it. Pearson, you instantly would recognize this as a specialty of Carla's. It's a flaky croissant-like treat that has a tart-like fruit in the center.
Okay.
She, as keen as you finish, she basically rips off a piece and all but shoves it in your mouth and then says, "Is it better than that?"
Well, how good is this pastry?
It is extremely well made.
Wow.
No cellar.
He will chew on it for a bit and go, "Damn. No, no, that's I'm not very good at making desserts. I'm way better at making main meals, dishes like that, steak, that kind of thing."
Well, then, I suppose learning from you won't be too bad as long as we know who the real cook is.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's
She
some damn good cooking.
she then like puts the rest away and she goes, "Unfortunately, I didn't make that. Carla did."
Ah. And he'll look over to Pearson. You are a lucky man.
Pearson is
dang
gonna
it.
he's gonna just say no shit. And then,
He gets like a thumbs up and goes back to like bone splitting.
Yep, pretty much.
I think that's pretty much all I wanted to go over.
Sky nods and she looks more seriously and she says, "I would be happy to learn anything you would teach."
Cool.
All right. With that interaction, does anyone else have any interactions?
Nope. Misa
No?
good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So after that, a few more minutes pass, and Jarek does the final finishing touches on his ritual. Jarek, is there anything that you'd like to describe before I tell the effects of what happens?
No, I think enough has been said both last session and in the text bar. I don't think I need to describe any further.
Very true. As Jarek finishes the ritual, he finishes speaking the words and focusing his energies, and the ritual comes to fruition. And for a few seconds, there is silence. And then, slowly at first, from the skeletons on the ground around you, begin to rise up blue, intangible objects that look like fully clothed, armored, and weaponed soldiers. And a few or two trolls, the skeletons that were on the ground. There are far more humans on the ground than there are trolls. But basically, wherever there is a pile of bones, a spirit begins to rise up from it. And it is slow and quiet at first, as they almost sleepily rise to their feet. And the interesting thing about them is that while you can see them, and while they appear to glow, they don't cast any light upon anything. And they slowly stand up. And once all of them have stood up, it is as if a switch has been thrown. They begin shouting and crying to each other and charging each other and running around as if they were in the midst of combat. It suddenly grows very loud, not just in the room you're in, but in the hallway outside and in the tunnel down below. And as far as you can hear, you hear the shouts of what sound like combat, but with no people are still alive fighting. You hear the clash of sword on steel and on flesh, though you see that it is simply the ghostly apparitions charging each other. Some of them appear to be flailing around madly, others appear to be working against the trolls in tandem. But yeah.
I think everyone else should have a chance to react to that first before Jarek does anything.
You see Finn jump into the room.
Pearson is kind of speechless.
You see a javelin get thrown through past the... You notice that there is one human attacking Cole, but it's towards the person behind him. Looks like he got a little bit too defensive.
You will notice, any of you, that these creatures, troll and human alike, pass right through you as if you weren't there. But they are tangible enough that they look. In other words, they're not completely translucent. If one charges and swings a sword at you, you really see it. You see every detail of them. But they do not. They passes through you as if you were on different planes of existence.
You have anything burned, darling?
No, I think Keen is generally speechless.
Okie dokie. Is that the same boat that Sky's in?
Sky is pretty much in the same boat, yes.
Okay.
Pretty
Then
good boat.
an exhausted Jarek, placing most of his weight upon what's in front of him, will retain enough energy and magical force to bark out a silence!
The room that you're in, all of the beings grow silent. However, two things to note. Outside in the hallways and beyond, you still hear the noises of combat. And inside the room itself, they have continued to fight. The noise has just stopped.
Jarek snorts at the literal interpretation and through clenched teeth and says, "Spirits, pay attention to me. I have risen you, and I can make the rest of eternity far more of a torment than your little play."
The spirits in the room, there are two varying reactions. The humans turn towards you for the first time and stop fighting, and they look at you with sunken, empty eyes. The trolls stop fighting as well and begin looking around as if confused.
You all have fallen for one reason or another, yet in your deaths you have not found peace, not found rest. I am Lord of Dead, and I offer you a chance through service to gain that rest you have not found in all of these years.
The humans continue to stare at you with empty eyes, and the trolls continue to look around. One of them even scratches his head.
Demons now rule this keep. Yes, no more humans ruling. No more trolls. Demon invaders from the realm beyond. I do not wish them to rule here any longer. That is why I have summoned you, disquieted spirits.
They continue to stare.
I would have you, in exchange for an opportunity to gain the rest that has eluded you, to finally put down your swords and shields and claws, to rid this keep of demons, harass them at every opportunity, and show them that the dead do still very much affect the living. Should any of you fail this task, then you will be granted release. Failure, and I will keep you in your state, and I plan on living a very long time.
The humans look at you for a second more with the empty eyes, and then almost as one, they nod once, and then slowly walk out of the room. The trolls don't seem to acknowledge you directly, but they give a grunt, well, a silent grunt, because they were commanded to be silent. They give a silent move of the mouth, which looks like a grunt, and also follow outside of the room. Finn, you see that they get to about here,
Mm-hmm.
and then they immediately charge off down the corridor this direction in cries of fury, no longer silent.
Huh. Finn stares, not really sure what to make of the situation that just happened.
Jarek, with that last bit of energy, fully collapses and just rests against where he had spent 2 hours casting the ritual.
Finn will race over and make sure he's not dead.
I didn't think I'd need so long.
You alright?
An exhausted look up at Finn turns, rather manages a very weak and thin smile. I just need a few minutes. I'm sure that those spirits will give us plenty of time. It would be for the best if we took a few minutes anyway to let their effects sink in.
Alright. That's... sounds like a good idea. She's not moving. She'll just kind of monitor Jarek for the time being.
Jarek will no longer have the energy to keep up the smile and just turn to look straight ahead of him, pretty much just like laying on top of the sarcophagus.
All right, you guys do hear outside of the room the sound of excuse me, the sound of battle changes slightly. The noises, the yells, the screams, the shouts, they continue, but the sounds you heard of sword upon flesh or steel upon steel stops. So you still hear the voices of battle, but you no longer hear the clash of battle. And I should point out that it is so loud that to speak to each other, you have to use loud voices. You don't have to yell per se from where you are, but you certainly have to speak louder than normal.
Jarek lifts his tired head and frowns severely at the door. Thought spirits would be a bit quieter than that.
What was that, Jarek?
Dead and respect for her. spirits.
Okay. Finn, like, kind of with, like, this vacant look on her face, just starts petting Jarek's head and, like, okay, alright, it's fine.
Whatever you say.
Jarek, like, his eyes, like, look up as if he's, like, going to, like, try and, like, snap the arm off, and then he registers in his mind and he pretty much decides, yeah, whatever. Goes back to, like, looking at the doorway. As he is pet.
Pet.
All right. What would our other people like to do at this time?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I might have an interaction for Jarek, but I'm not going to bother him while he's trying to recover from that huge spell.
Okay.
Piff.
You see Cole looming over, and he seems to have a bottle in his hand.
Jarek twists his head to look up.
You will probably notice, since you're probably well acquainted with magical potions, it's a rejuvenation potion.
Hello, Cole.
Jarek. Do you think this would help your condition?
He looks and says, I think so, if we're looking to move sometime soon.
He looks around to everyone else.
You see Finn nodding at Cole.
She continues to, like, pet Jarek.
Yeah. Just like, come on, give it to him.
The other two even, I guess the other three seem to do anything.
Keen will nod and withdraw the book that he tossed in his backpack, ready to throw it at Jarek's face.
Good.
Pearson, what do you?
And well, Inferno stepped away, so I assume he has no reaction.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Then,
so-
Sky would say it probably won't take them long to figure out that. At least I think they can't hurt them. They couldn't hurt us. Or Cole, she says, pointing to Cole.
Cole is holding the bottle close enough for Jarek to grab, not in any sort of taunting way, just as a somebody like reaching out their hand for a handshake and waiting for the other person to receive it. That sort of a gesture.
Jarek. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Oh,
Hello?
is everything? Should we Skype? Should we Skype? Is everything going on? Hello?
Guys.
Google Hangout robots, no!
You guys are back now, thankfully.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, I was wondering what the hell was going on.
Yeah, I thought Piff was just taking a dramatic pause.
Yeah, the most dramatic pause.
The most unnecessary dramatic pause.
His hand.
Give him the fucking potion!
All right, he's going to uncork the bottle and put it into his mouth.
Jarek blinks, and in there, he's still very logical and aware. He comes to, like, slowly terms with the fact that he's currently being pet, and he might be nuzzling into the hand at this point, while Cole is leaning down and hand-feeding him a potion. At that moment, as the potion begins to enter his mouth, Jarek smiles mentally and says, I finally got these norms trained.
You got one norm trained.
Meanwhile, I could just picture Cole and Finn looking like exhausted parents just hovering above Jarek.
Jarek consumes the potion, and then the bones begin to creak and snap into place as he leans up from his like half like prone position on the sarcophagus. 2 hours. Man, longer than I thought. Good work, Cole. Lovely hand, Finn. You can get it off my head now.
Yep, got it. She like holds her hands up and backs away.
Are the... Oh, sorry, Grimmeth.
Jarek begins to just start leaning down and like picking up like his clothes that he discarded.
Are the loud not the sounds of battle, but the voices of battle, is that still going on?
Oh yes, very much so.
And still so loud that we have to yell over each other?
Very much so.
Okay.
Not yell, but theater voices.
So Pearson's gonna ask, are you gonna wait for the yelling to die down, or are we gonna figure out, take advantage of this chaos that the necromancer started?
Cole hands you an empty potion bottle.
Pearson smiles and he takes it, uses his empty bag, crushes it up in there, and Pearson says, I got all that I need.
There's not too much of a rush. I'm admittedly curious to see what all those spirits can do. It's the first time I ever cast a spell particularly like that. I would hazard we have some time. If there's anything else you're looking to do in here.
Pearson looks around from the old desecrated statue to the sarcophagus packed filled with toad bodies that toad and like what do you call vulture like monster bodies, and Pearson will be like, no, Jarek, I'm good.
Fantastic. I'm glad you took care of everything.
I'm good as well. I just need to know if you actually heard what I was trying to tell you while you were doing the ritual.
Bit focused on the ritual at the time, Keen.
Okay. Well, it turns out that somebody wrote in the journal.
Lady Selene's been known to do that. Oh, yes. Jarek, like, grabs his staff, like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I think you use your name on occasion, Keen.
Yes. But it wasn't my handwriting. It wasn't as, well, terrible, because my handwriting is terrible.
It sure is.
Yes, it is. That was a very good attempt, though. Very
really...
close to the real thing.
Oh, yes. I'm sure it fooled Lady Selene.
No, it didn't.
Pearson glares a little bit and he says, is this really the time or the place?
Just wanted her to know that, would have been really great if we hadn't had to worry so much about swimming through that river. Nightmare.
Okay. I'll read aloud to you her response, but I just wanted to say, please don't write in the journal using my name again.
Why?
It was
she
a very...
knew who it was to begin with.
But I've been working for her for upwards of 15 years.
Yes.
I don't want to chance that.
Chance it. Do you not trust her? Not that I would blame you if you didn't. Absolute wretch of a leader.
Sure.
There is no sure about it. She lost her entire castle and land.
Keen's not going to respond.
One of many failures on her part, along with tolerating the Lich King.
You hear a very strong and angry, that's enough Sky stares at Jarek with very angry eyes.
Jarek looks at Sky.
You are
very, very-
welcome to think what you are welcome to think what you will of her, but I will not have you insulting my lady in front of me. Is that
Your
understood?
lady.
Pearson looks around the corner. He tries to muffle a chuckle. He'll let Jarek take the brunt of it on that.
You're right, your lady. I think I'll say whatever I want about the most incompetent, bumbling leader to have ever set foot upon Ardenfell in any of the ages before or any of the ages from now after these demons are repelled.
Her face contorts in anger, and she takes a step towards Jarek. And-
Keen will put a hand on her shoulder.
She will also stop, and she'll shake her head, and she'll say, "Right, not the time." And then she'll turn around curtly and move past Keen.
Let him have his words. It's fine.
I have no idea where we're going. Pearson will say we can go.
Finn like looks at Pearson, narrowing her eyes. Well, no shit. Just go forward. We'll improvise.
Okay.
Where are we going?
God damn it, Kane! Finn like looks over at him.
Where?
Pearson will-
Maybe to a demon lieutenant. Or have you forgotten why we are here, Keen? Understandably
No, I just
so.
wanted to know which direction, because there were guys over there, and he's gonna point over here. I didn't actually get a good vantage point of here. I
Wow.
didn't really look down this way that much, so I only know here there were some enemies, and I stopped immediately.
At
Pearson
this
will
point-
say, "Well,
I mean-
I guess we'll have to improvise," and he'll spit upon the sarcophagus. I mean, not the sarcophagus. This tomb ground. There's a little blood in that spit, but that's okay.
Finn notices and gets a very worried look across her face, but says nothing.
Yeah. Maybe it's not his blood. Maybe it's not his blood.
Maybe he was drinking
Maybe it is
some
his blood.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah. So Pearson's going
What
to.
if it
Does it look? It looks pretty dark down this hallway. Huskly.
Yes.
Are these light sources that I'm pinging?
Correct. Yes, those are light sources. Just so you guys know, basically, general rules apply. If you can see it in the map, your character can see it. If you can't, he can't. And anything that looks like what you just pinged is a light source.
Okay, so are these torches?
Yes, they are torches, and they are natural-looking torches. You can feel the heat from them. They glow over a regular orange fire.
Can I take the torch?
Had not considered that. I will say it this way: it is bracketed into the wall, and it is like a metal brazier. But it is something you could conceivably carry if you can rip it from the wall. Yes.
I will see. I will try to rip it with all my 6 strength. Not like 6 as in. That's what my strength score is.
Right.
Sick as in unwell.
Got it. If you could roll me just a simple skill check with your strength modifier and your level, and then whatever penalties if you choose to add to yourself. I'm not.
All right, I'll give myself a -2.
Okay.
Get 20.
Even with your weakened condition, you struggle a bit, but you tear it free from the wall.
Okay.
So
I like to think there's still like a bit of bracket hanging from it. Pearson be like, better.
Derek, like,
Goes forward.
like squints his eyes and then looks over at his torch and just deactivates it.
Now we'll need to have my token emit
Yep.
light.
working on it.
You got it. You
All
got
right.
it. Oh, there you go, BJ. Trusty BJ.
His
Well,
glare
that
is
looks like more fucking sarcophaguses, so fuck that. Is there anything to the left here?
Let's find out.
Oh, I don't know. I don't see anything. It's kind of black. Oh, no, that's a door? I don't know what that is.
That is a. Hang on, let me check. Let me zoom. I believe that's just a wall. That's just a wall. Yeah.
Oh, there's
It's
a wall there?
it
Okay.
looks like it was a door, but it has caved in.
Okay. Problem solved.
Hi, Cole.
Hello.
Still the sounds, still the shouts and whatnot.
There's still sounds, there's still shouts. You don't see any ghosts where you are. Let's see, where are you going? You hear the noises getting closer, the direction you're headed.
Well, that's encouraging. Right?
Pearson,
Sure.
Pearson,
What?
you may want to slow
Yeah.
down.
Sorry, I'm a little eager because of
We know.
Because I know if I was this guy, I'd be either. Here's the thing: if I was this undying asshole, I would either do one of two things. I'd run away from the sounds of battle, or considering I don't think I can die, I'd probably join in. My best guess is that he's gonna be where the sounds are.
And accidentally
Alright.
just runs into Keen. Oh, sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
I am just waiting for the tokens to catch up. I gotta wait for the Jarek token. There he is.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Looming
stuff.
in the shadows.
Oh, hey, stuff.
All right, so
Boop.
Pearson, it's hard for me as a GM to know what you can and can't see. Can you see the next room?
Yeah. Oh, I can see
yeah.
all sorts
Okay.
of stuff.
Oh boy.
Okay. Okay, so here's what you come upon when you enter the room. You see in the room is a mass of like 15 spirits, mostly human, a very few trolls. Actually, there's only the two trolls that were at the beginning in this room. They are shouting and screaming and swinging their weapons and claws at the group of tangible demons you see in front of you. They are fighting them with abandon, and it's quickly easy and apparent to tell that the reason why you don't hear the sounds of combat anymore is you heard the sound of metal and screeching and flesh when the ghosts hit each other, but they are no longer hitting each other. They are all concentrating on the demons in front of them. The demons in front of them, the wisp looks around calmly. The others seem to kind of bat around them from time to time, still not quite sure. Some of them still flinch when a soldier charges through them. And that is the scene you come across they are a mix of confusion and frustration.
Are these stairs?
Yes, they are.
My suggestion is we try to sneak past, use this distraction, and get to those stairs. Thoughts? I mean, thoughts? Because of the yelling.
Sure.
Get rid of your light source then.
Alright, Pearson's gonna throw it to the ground. It'll be enough for us to see the, Actually, wait. No, I'm not gonna throw it to the ground. I'm gonna move it back here, drop it, and then move back up.
Okay.
Because if there's one thing that'll get people's attention, it's a torch on the ground that wasn't there before. All right. I'll go first. Sneaky.
All right. Same prowl check we've been using.
Okay. Let me see. Half of forged on the streets, and I'm not going to use my dexterity because of the coughing. That's what I've decided because of the sickness penalty. Because physically, I'm not good enough. But I get a 17.
All right. You are able to hold in your coughing and quietly creep your way to the stairs.
Sweet.
I would like to try next.
Okay.
1d20 plus. Would a bounty hunter or mercenary background fit? For a spell?
Half of either of those. Mm-hmm.
So. 13. 29. Haha.
Okay. You as well are able to quietly creep up to the stairs.
Sweet.
Come join me.
Finn will go very close to Cole's ear. Well, she'll tug on Cole's shoulder for him to kind of crouch down.
You will.
He's so
Be
big.
like- Can you use your weird invisible thingy thing on you? And she kind of looks over at Jarek. He's not exactly stealth ready.
Jarek's face looks like the face of, boy, I hope they know who they brought along into this party.
I was going to do that in Sky. Apparently, they are both very bad at sneaking.
Finn will nod solemnly at that. And,
Guy frowns, but pointedly does not say anything.
and then Finn will. You know what? Finn will wait for you guys to go.